Baltimore's Memorial Stadium would be the site of an important matchup in the AFC East. The Colts would play host to the surging New England Patriots. Since a Week 2 defeat to the Atlanta Falcons, the Patriots have won 4 straight, with an offense that has averaged 29 points per game. Second-year coach Ron Earhart masterminds one of the league's most powerful attacks. The key in 1980 has been the strong play of quarterback Steve Grogan, the AFC's top-rated quarterback. Grogan's counterpart is Burt Jones. Jones' freedom from injury this season has enabled the Colts to return to the contender status they enjoyed in the mid-1970s. Rookie coach Mike McCormick has benefited from Jones' help, and his Colts enter the game with a 4-2 record. A victory over the Patriots would put Baltimore in the middle of the AFC East playoff picture. An Eastern showdown as the New England Patriots battle the Baltimore Colts. Another Eastern Division showdown occurred some 120 miles north in Philadelphia's Veterans Stadium. The Dallas Cowboys arrived intent on extending a modest winning streak against the Eagles. They have not lost at the Vet since 1974. The Cowboys are in a familiar position, first place in the NFC East with 5 wins against a single loss. The Eagles own an identical record. The rapid development of quarterback Danny White has been the major factor in sustaining the Cowboys' level of excellence since the departure of Roger Staubach. Through the first 6 games of 1980, White is the leading passer in the NFL. Dallas coach Tom Landry hopes to find out how good his Cowboy team really is. He has some doubts about his team's ability, while Philadelphia has some doubts regarding its premier running back Wilbert Montgomery, still feeling the painful after effects of a hip pointer. If Montgomery's running is limited, quarterback Ron Jaworski will seek out weaknesses in the Cowboys secondary. The matchup could prove to be a turning point for both Dallas and Philadelphia, with the winner taking over sole possession of first place in the NFC East. While south in Baltimore, New England and the Colts square off for the top spot in the AFC East. It's showdown time in the East for the Patriots and Colts and for the Cowboys and Eagles in a doubleheader on our NFL Game of the Week. The Eagles gain first possession and immediately look to their most reliable offensive weapons. On the ground, number 31, Wilbert Montgomery. And through the air, number 17, Harold Carmichael. Carmichael extended his streak of consecutive games with at least 1 catch to 119, relying on agility seldom seen in a 6-foot, 8-inch receiver. From the Dallas 24-yard line, barefoot kicker Tony Franklin stepped into the Eagles' first scoring opportunity. But what appeared to be a fake kick was not. Holder John Shera bobbled a wet ball, and his effort to secure the first down failed. Dallas had the first break of the day and prepared to challenge the number 1 defense in the NFL. Dependable Drew Pearson, number 88, recorded the Cowboys' first substantial gain of the day, 21 yards. The next time Danny White sought out Pearson, it was in a crowd, and Eagle linebacker Frank LeMaster, number 55, stepped in to thwart the drive. But the Eagles were unable to capitalize on LeMaster's interception. The return of Ed Too Tall Jones to the Dallas front 4 has made the powerful Cowboy front line that much stronger. While Jones poured in from the right, tackle Randy White buried Ron Jaworski to set up the Cowboys' lone touchdown of the day. Linebacker Mike Hegman, number 58, recovered the Philadelphia fumble and gave Dallas the early lead. Ironically, the Eagles held the ball for 12 minutes in the first period to Dallas's 3 minutes, yet the Eagles had nothing to show for it. Unable to generate an effective running game, Jaworski utilized both of his tight ends, first connecting with number 84, Keith Krefley, then with number 88, John Spagnola. Despite both men's ability to drag defenders for additional yardage, it was not enough, and Eagle penetration was halted at the Dallas 18. The second time around, Tony Franklin's field goal was good, cutting the Cowboy lead to 4. Neither team was able to sustain any kind of drive. Philadelphia's Carl Hairston, number 78, was instrumental in limiting the Cowboys to just 25 yards rushing in the first half. The Eagles' Wilbert Montgomery left the game with injuries, but Philadelphia's depth was rewarded when Ron Jaworski hooked up with reserve back Billy Campfield for 50 yards. The swift three-play drive ended when Jaworski avoided the Dallas rush and located his secondary receiver, Harold Carmichael. Carmichael's touchdown put the Eagles up by 3 and rekindled the hopes of some 70,000 Philadelphia fans who for a moment may have doubted the Eagles' chances of overcoming the Dallas big game mystique. Dallas's Tony Dorsett had little success against the Eagle line and picked up just 17 first-half yards before leaving the game with injuries. Dorsett's running mate, Ron Springs, number 20, had considerably more success with outlet passes from White. Rafael Septien's 33-yard field goal in the second period proved to be Dallas's final score of the day. Tom Landry's encouragement did little to get his offense moving, although Drew Pearson, number 88, did pick up 108 yards on 9 catches. Intense defensive play led to 8 turnovers in the second half, and the game appeared to belong to the team that would capitalize on them. Rookie running back James Jones never did have control of a third-period handoff. Four plays later, Dallas cornerback Steve Wilson, number 45, returned an interception 19 yards with a little help from his friends. This time, just one play later, Ron Springs offered up another opportunity to the Eagles at the Dallas 24. Louis Giamona, number 33, brought the Eagles 15 yards closer to the Cowboy goal line. It seemed like the Eagles would finally break the scoring drought. But indeed, the Christmas season came early to Veterans Stadium as fullback Leroy Harris, number 20, presented yet another gift to the Dallas defense. But even extensive sideline conferences could not ignite the Cowboy offense. The ball changed hands 9 times in the fourth quarter as the turnover rate reached astronomical proportions. When Dallas tackled John Dutton, number 78, gave the Cowboys field position at the Philadelphia 39, Danny White opted to pull the trigger on the shotgun and go long to Preston Pearson. Linebacker Reggie Wilkes, number 51, brought in on third and long passing situations, reacted as instructed, using exceptional big man speed to collar the Cowboys' touchdown bid. With the game still tied at 10, the Eagles got a late game break on a Max Runniger punt. With no Dallas Cowboys prepared to field the kick, the ball traveled 58 yards before coming to a halt at the Dallas 22-yard line. An even bigger Eagle break occurred when a poorly thrown Danny White pass ended up in the hands of nose tackle Charlie Johnson, number 65. This gave Philadelphia their golden opportunity of the day. 3 plays later, Ron Jaworski looked for and found Charlie Smith, number 85, for the go-ahead touchdown. Only the most accurate pass would have found Smith between 3 Dallas defenders. Jaworski delivered it. Smith received. The Eagles were up by 7 with 4:15 remaining. Roger Staubach may be gone from the Dallas roster, but there was more than a little comeback magic in the arm of his successor, Danny White. 9 plays and 52 yards later, Dallas had 4th down and goal at the Eagle 8. White sent Tony Hill, number 80, one-on-one with Philadelphia's rookie cornerback, Roynell Young. Young responded with a deflection that ended the Cowboys' last-minute chance at a tie ball game. The classic defensive battle earned the Eagles sole possession of first place in the NFC East. More than that, the Eagles overcame their number 1 nemesis, the Dallas Cowboys, and did not allow them a single offensive touchdown. In Baltimore, pregame festivities were the order of the day as the Colts prepared to take their first legitimate step as AFC East contenders in more than 2 years. The opponent was the streamlined Patriots, a team that can match their offensive weapons with any in the NFL. Patriot firepower struck early and often. Steve Grogan attacked Baltimore's defensive weakness, the secondary, as he marched the Patriots 95 yards on their first possession. The final 37 came on this throw to Harold Jackson. Grogan and Jackson hooked up 3 times for 67 yards as New England jumped out to a 7-0 lead. A healthy Burt Jones has meant a healthy Baltimore offense in 1980. Jones matched New England blow for blow as he teamed with his favorite target, Roger Carr, number 81. From a yard out, Cleveland Franklin bowled his way into the end zone, and the game was quickly tied. A seesaw battle had emerged in the first quarter. Grogan made certain it would continue. Harold Jackson, number 29, continued to beat the Baltimore defense as the Patriots' passing game remained dominant. Grogan then turned loose rookie running back Vegas Ferguson, number 43. Big yardage again came easily. Ferguson's run set up New England's second score of the afternoon, a 27-yard field goal by John Smith. Patriot drives of 95 and 57 yards on their first 2 possessions had accounted for 10 points, but the offensive merry-go-round was just beginning. The Colts offense countered quickly, first with a Cleveland Franklin burst up the gut, and then with a Burt Jones bullet to Reese McCall, number 86. Jones' strikes had beaten previously undefeated Buffalo a week earlier. Now he would give the same treatment to the once beaten Patriots. Jones' short toss to Don McCauley gave Baltimore the lead late in the second quarter. For the second time in the half, Jones and the Colts offense controlled the ball for over 5 minutes against one of the best defenses in the AFC. Baltimore's only problem was that New England had done the same thing. As the half ended, the Patriots hoped it would only be a matter of time before their defense would come up with a big play to shut down the brilliant Burt Jones. Defense, a commodity that had been sorely lacking in the first half. For the Colts, it had been missing for much of the season. That would have to change if Baltimore was to upset the Patriots. On this Sunday, it was not to be. Brogan found openings in the Colts defense all day. In the first half, Harold Jackson was the benefactor. Russ Francis, number 81, would become the leading man in the second half. In the age of the forward pass, a strong running game has become the successful byproduct of a precise passing attack. For Grogan and the Patriots, the maxim held true. Don Calhoun forged through the middle of the Colts defense without much interference. And the second half began for New England the same way the first one did, with a touchdown. While Baltimore's defense could not stop the Patriots' offense, neither could New England's defense shut down the Colts' attack. Curtis Dickey, number 27, ignited another Colt drive, and Burt Jones once again finished it off, this time hitting Reese McCall as Baltimore stormed back 21-17. The difference in Baltimore in 1980 has been Burt Jones. The Colts are a playoff contender with Jones at quarterback. On this afternoon, the Patriots have been finding out the hard way. Unfortunately for Baltimore, Jones only plays on offense. The Colts' inability to stop New England kept coming back to haunt them. Ivory raced 98 yards with the ensuing kickoff as the Patriots spectacularly regained the lead midway through the third quarter. How many times could Burt Jones bring the Colts back against the number 3 ranked defense in the AFC? That question would be quickly answered. Intercepted Jones' underthrown ball, and for the first time in the game, Jones could not follow a New England score with a touchdown of his own. Haynes' play, reminiscent of one he pulled off in 1976 against Jones in a New England victory, swayed the contest in the Patriots' favor. Grogan continued to find the Colts secondary to his liking, again teaming with Harold Jackson, number 29. 2 John Smith field goals put the Patriots ahead 30-21, and New England's defense made certain the lead would stand up. Grogan's passing helped give the Patriots an insurance touchdown late in the fourth quarter, and the 37-21 count would be the final score. For Burt Jones, another outstanding performance in a season that has already been filled with them. But not even Jones' customary brilliance could stand in the way of the New England Patriots. 1980 has witnessed the emergence of a strong Patriot team, a team that is capable of playing the best football in the NFL. New England coach Ron Earhart can now look ahead to next week and another divisional showdown with the second-place Buffalo Bills. His Patriots stand alone on top of the AFC East after a hard-fought but convincing victory over the Baltimore Colts. Through the NFL's first 7 weeks, Earhart's Patriots have been the class of the AFC.